Shalom everybody, hope you're doing well. Just minutes before Shabbat here in the Holy Land, and coming into Shabbat after a very, very hard week. We know with massacre of 4 Jews, 4 rabbis, and the death of a soldier who tried to help them and others. It was a very intense week, a very hard week. And the question always is, how do we pick up, how do we move on? Sometimes we feel stuck, paralyzed. Where do we get the strength? Where do we get the desire to even try to move on from this? Yet another hurdle for the Jewish people in our long history in this world. So just a very quick thought, that this is Parshat Toldot, which means generations. We learn Ve'ele Toldot Yitzchak. These are the generations of Yitzchak. These are the generations that came out of Yitzchak, the future of the Jewish people, the Jewish generations that followed him. And we know that the word Toldot also references what one gives to the future, what the future receives from a certain person or from a certain generation. And we know from the Avot, from Avram, from Yitzchak, from Yaakov, from Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel, we've been learning about these past few Parshiot. We receive so many spiritual gifts and so many spiritual strengths, and one of them is this capacity, this ability to move on, to pick up, to rise up, and go on, and even stronger. And it's a strength that is on some level beyond the nature of this world. On some level we should have run out of the strength a long time ago. The fact that the strength still exists in the Jewish people is an unbelievable thing, but we see it yet again, once again in our generation. Many, many times already in our generation, and yet again this week. A horrible tragedy that took place in Yerushalayim this week. And we enter into Shabbat just a few days after. And I can only think of the family, the spouses, the children, the friends in the community of these Jews, of these rabbis who were slain this week. From a distance it's so painful, I can't imagine as one gets closer. But with the strength of Toldot, Ele Toldot Yitzchak, right, we're able to move on. And coupled with that is the fact that the Yom Rishon and Sunday is Rosh Chodesh Kislev, which means tomorrow morning in Shul, what we'll be reading, the Haftorah, is called Machar Chodesh. Right? Whenever Shabbat falls right before the new month, the first day of the new month, like it does this Shabbat, we read a special Haftorah which talks about Machar Chodesh, that tomorrow is the new month. Tomorrow is the beginning of the new month, the first day of the new month. But this idea of Machar Chodesh, tomorrow, Machar Chodesh, which is month, but also Chadash, which is newness. Tomorrow, there's a newness in the world. Tomorrow, everything starts all over again. Tomorrow, we regain our strength. We regain our ability to get up once again, to rise up once again, and to move on. Like the Jewish people always have, like the Jewish people are, and like the Jewish people always have to in the future. And this, in essence, is the Toldot of those that came before us. This lesson for life, this lesson of our people, that we've always been able to move on. With tears still in our eyes, with bloodstains still fresh. We rise up, we move on, not in spite, but on some level, strangely, is not a good word. I want to say the word, hold on one second, Niggy, I'll be right with you, okay? That's my daughter Noah. She's getting ready for Shabbat. I'll be right with you, no. Inspired on some level to do even more, to do even better, to do all that we possibly can to make sure the Jewish people have a strong and bright future. All right, so between Toldot and Machar Chodesh, and one last thing, the fact that we're coming to the month of Kislev, the darkest point of the year, which has the brightest, literally, holiday of the year, Chanukah. We're just a few weeks away from Chanukah, and the whole idea of Chanukah, as we're going to talk about B'ezrat Hashem when it comes, this idea in this dark, dark world, in a dark, dark world, we light lights. We increase the light. And there's many things to do in reaction to the terrorism that's happening in our land. The government and the security, the police and the military all have their tafkidim, all have their jobs to do. But we, the everyday citizens of the Jewish people in the Holy Land of Israel, we have our tafkid as well. We have our job. And that's to increase the light. In memory of those who fell this week and in previous weeks, and in previous months and in previous years and previous generations. To never ever stop, to never ever give up. Because if we give up, we've lost. If we give up, they've won. That's exactly what they want us to do. But the Jewish people don't give up. So please, receive my blessing and bless me back that we should have always have the strength. Always have the strength to get up, to move on, never to forget, right? But always to be inspired to build the brightest future. B'ezrat Hashem, please in our day, lots of love and blessing from the land of Israel. Shabbat Shalom.